How's it going, everybody? This is Mark with AtTech. In this video, we're going to be talking about the iRobot Roomba E6, and more specifically, should you get a robot vacuum? Now, smart homes are all the things now. Your smart thermostat, your lights, your front door locks, everything is smart, and people are being lazier, so why not get a smart vacuum while you're at it, right? It'll vacuum for you, do all the work, you never have to do anything ever again. Well, I got a smart vacuum, not for that purpose, but because I'm into tech and, I figured why not have a robot wandering the house cleaning. But I feel like our robot technology, and especially the smart vacuums, are not quite there where you can just get rid of your current vacuum and use this one. Let me explain. So while this is technically a review on the E6, I want to talk in general about robot vacuums as well. So the build of the E6 is fine. It's all plastic and it looks okay. There's nothing special to it. It has a charging dock and it comes with 2 sensors that you can place around the house so that it won't go into that certain area. I'll talk about those more in a little bit. But that's pretty much where the E6 ends and the rest of robot vacuums pick up. So all of Roomba's Wi-Fi connected vacuums work with Google Assistant and Amazon's Echo lineup. They also have an app that goes along with it. However, the app is not that great. You can either start it or you can do nothing else with the app. If you want it to go home or if you want to stop it, you have to use the voice assistant, which I use it all the time anyway, so that's fine. Getting the vacuum going is pretty easy. You just press the clean button and it will go out and do its thing. Now, this is where I have my feelings about smart vacuums and robots and why you probably don't need one. So first of all, it's going to take a long time to learn your house. In fact, I've had mine for several weeks now, and it's done multiple runs, and it still doesn't quite seem to know everything yet. It is very cool to watch this thing work. I love it. It's so cool to sit there and stare at it for as long as it takes to clean the house. It's very cool. The geek in me also loves robots and the way they work. It got stuck under a chair once and it spent a couple minutes trying to figure out how to get out, but eventually it couldn't find a way out. So it knew exactly where it came in, how it came in, the path it took when it came in. So what it did was it just turned around and went directly out the path it came in. It was just mind-blowing how it knew. That was really cool. But it does like to go in places where it shouldn't. That's why you have the sensors, but even then the sensors don't work that great. It does not like carpet or rugs, anything dense or plush. Also corners, it likes to suck up the corners of the rug and likes to suck up power cords as well, which is kind of my main issue. I had to reorganize my house downstairs in order to accommodate the vacuum. I had a big rug downstairs that it would not work on. It kept giving me errors all the time and it did not work. So that was gone. It also got stuck under a table that it couldn't figure its way out, so I had to take that table out. Anytime it goes into the downstairs bathroom, I have to pull up the bath mat because it gets stuck on that. And I also had to remove the mat under the bench by the front door because it sucked up the little things on the end. So it's just a lot of work you have to do to get this vacuum to do its thing. But even then, it's still going to have some problems, which it has troubles overcoming. The biggest annoyance and the most frustrating thing is that it does not do the entire house. It does the sides, it likes the corners, and anytime it hits a wall, instead of continuing the other way and try and find the other end of the wall, it just completely turns around. It cleans in diagonals rather than straight lines. So because of that, it hits the island on my kitchen, and then it kind of turns around and goes off to the dining area, and then it never comes back to where it was before. So there are very large portions right in the middle of the floor that it never cleans, it never touches. It goes right around things, and it is quite annoying that even after it's been going for an hour, it doesn't really seem to do much cleaning in a lot of areas. Even when it does run over crumbs and stuff like that, it doesn't always pick everything up as well. So not only do we have the issue of, at least this vacuum, of not picking the crumbs up that it goes over, but it also doesn't go over a lot of them. The path it takes is just very weird. It doesn't do a lot of my house downstairs. It actually skips quite a large portion of it. Sometimes it goes into the bathroom, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes over the same area 5 times. It's just like obsessed with this one portion. It just keeps going over and over and over the same area. It does circles around the front door. Maybe it's really dirty. Maybe it has no clue what it's doing. So some areas it never touches. It's never gone before. Others it goes over multiple times. It just seems like the smart vacuum idea isn't that great for efficiency. And if you have a house with not a lot of rugs or anything can actually suck up nothing on the floor, this is the type of thing you can set and go free for as long as it takes to do its thing. But for me, I have to constantly monitor it, and now that I have done the thing where I can kind of let it go on its own, I can step back from it now, which is a good thing. But at the end of the day, when I come home, it's not actually clean. There's still a lot that's not clean. There's a lot of crumbs and a mess. It doesn't do that good on carpets or rugs, and when it transitions from the hard floor to the rugs, it misses all those things right there. It is quite quiet. It's whisper quiet on carpet, but it's a little bit louder on the hard floors, but it's still pretty quiet as it is. It doesn't sound like a vacuum, but it does pick stuff up. It gets full pretty quick, surprisingly, and it lets you know with a little light on the top, and you can easily clean it out, and then it will just be on its way, finishing up its job. I have never had actually complete a job before where it did the whole house. It was satisfied, then it went back home. Either I had to stop it to empty out the trash can inside of it, or it got stuck and I had to send it home, or something like that. So it's never actually completely finished a whole job on its own. And when it does go home, when I tell it to go home, it doesn't really seem to know where home is. I tell it to go home and it goes the opposite way. And while it's doing its path to home, it also does clean. So it will make sure it's doing its job while it's on its way home. It does kind of get a little lost at times, and it takes actually several minutes for it to find its way home. And eventually when it does dock itself, it does charge itself, which is very nice. It does have an auto home feature when the battery's low. So if the battery's low, it'll know that and it'll just go right home. But I don't know if it's actually going to go home when the job is done or when the battery's low. If it's ever going to be satisfied with the job well done, or if it only goes home automatically when the battery's low, I don't know, because something's always happened in my usage where it's failed or the trash can's full, something where it can never completely do its own job without me intervening. Because of that, I couldn't really leave it alone at home. I'd come home at the end of the day and it would just be sitting on the floor, most likely, just sitting there with the air light blinking. If your carpet's too dense and plush, the brush on the side that's twirling gets jammed, and then it has an error, and then it stops, and you can't do anything about it until you clean it. But, the thing is also nice, too. It does pick stuff up in the corner, and because it's rotating in a counterclockwise motion, it does feed the dirt right into its mouth, basically. So it does help picking up stuff off to the side, but then that also does fling the dirt all the way across the other side of the room, too, which it will never end up picking up. So as you can see, robot technology and vacuums is not quite there yet. It does need a lot of improvement, but luckily the hardware is there, so anything can be updated with software. I really hope my idea on robot vacuums and all this stuff changes in several years, because I would love to just press a button, have it do its thing, come home and the house is completely clean. But as of now, it's not the smartest. It does areas multiple times. It doesn't do areas at all. It doesn't pick up everything, and I usually have to get out the old manual vacuum and do it myself anyway. So there you go. Again, I'm not hating on the vacuum. I'm not saying that it's horrible, and I don't expect a lot from it. I'm not expecting it to do everything for me. I'm not expecting it to do everything. I don't have high expectations for it, but I'm just saying at the state that it currently is, it may not quite be there yet for everybody. But there you go. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. This is Mark with AtTech, and I'll see you in the next one.